You're first. Yep, you are first. As a mom, as a wife, as a business owner, as a grandma, whatever you want to call it, auntie, you are first. I have been doing interviews with women who have filled out an application that want to work with me. And one of the objections that I keep getting is my child is in college. I got to wait till my child is done with college before I invest in myself. Or my child has a football and my child is in football and I have to wait till my son finished the football because I'm trying to get him in college and get him to be able to go to college and play football. Baby, you are first. Now I'm about to snatch some edges, so stay with me, okay? After hearing those objections that you are literally waiting on your child to succeed before you succeed, that that by itself is a horror story. And what I mean by that is because your first line of defense when it comes to your child, the first person your child needs to see as successful is you. Because if your child go out to the world and they're very successful, which is what we all hope for. I have a 14-year-old son who is very smart, and a I also have a son in the military who is a Marine. So I think I did okay. Okay. But for all of this to happen, I had to show them what success looked like first and not let the world show them what success is. You heard that right. I first had to show them example what success looked like. So I was big in the things that I do. I was big in relationships and different things that I do to make sure that my child see what it's like first, so they can learn from my mistakes. Don't get me wrong; they can learn from my mistakes. But I did not want the world to show them. I want them to see me. I want them to see me investing in myself, trying to be better, trying to be a better person every single day. God knows, as parents, we have messed up so many times, and I get it. There's not a blueprint of how to be a parent, but the number one gift that you can give your child is to show your child what success look like for you first, and they can embody that. I have a son that embody that every day. When he go out there in that soccer field and he's out there, I have the biggest mouth yelling at him and telling him, I need to see hunger. You're not hungry enough. You're not hungry enough. And when he's not hungry enough, and I know this is bad because all the coaches going to say, you don't do this. When I get home, baby, I'm like, listen, I need to see some hunger. I will wake him up and say, listen, you need to go out there because what I'm paying for soccer, because soccer is an expensive sport. Okay. What I'm paying for soccer, you need to be out there and you need to be grinding because you see mommy grinding every day. Now, does it mean hustling and go get it and like in survival mode? No. But what I think most parents get wrong, especially my business owned, my high achieving women, you are the best line of defense in seeing for your kids to see what success look like. So if you are going out there every day trying to serve others but also trying to invest in yourself, your child will see it. My child is watching my mom and his stepdad, and we get therapy and we get counseling and we get life coaching, and he's watching it, and he watch me build a business from the ground up. He watches stepdad go out there and work every day. So he is getting the first line of defense of what it looks like. And on top of that, people will say to me all the time, man, your son IQ is very high. He's very smart. Where do you think that he get that from? Some kids are born with it, but where do you think it's embodied inside of him every single day? If he wants something, his negotiation skill is top of the line. His sales strategy, skills to get what he want is no other, like a grown person. Now, he didn't develop that overnight. That is from watching me work. So the best gift you can do for your kids is to become the example of what they can follow. Because hear me clearly, if you don't, there's a world that they're going to look up to. There's a people that they're going to look up to on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on all these crazy platforms that is unrealistic, and they're going to look at them and use that as a focal point, and you don't want that. You don't want that. You want to be able to show your kids that you go after your dream. You tell them they can go after their dream, but do you? You do you. And it may seems like it's coming from a negative place, but it's really not. It's coming from a place of love. It's coming from a place of be the example that your kids want to see. Now, their job is to go beyond you, but if you are able to invest in yourself, what happens is you become a better mother for your child because your mind is filled with discernment. You know right from wrong. You choose better things. You choose better partners. You choose better choices, and they'll see that within you. You start having standards and values and hold yourself to a high caliber, to where guess what, that child will also reach out for that too. Now there comes a time when a child's life where that child may have to make some choices on their own, which has nothing to do with you, but I can guarantee you what you have embedded to them at their core will always stay with them. And you cannot do that by just saying words alone. You have to be able to do that by the action that you do on a daily basis. The action that you do on a daily basis. Because if you're not seeking out the best version of yourself, what happened is their child will copy the version that you don't like, what that they're watching. They will copy that. And when they start copying that because that may seem okay to them, then that becomes their core, and you don't want that. You don't want that. It's we lead by showing more than we lead by telling. We lead by taking ourselves out there and becoming more confident and growing. Like, even when, if you read my book The Challenge Code, I spoke about going through a divorce and moving into an apartment, and that was my child first time ever in an apartment. And when we hit rock bottom, but let me tell you, what he also saw is a mom that was able to rent out her home, and a mom that was able to get on her feet, and a mom that was able to clear $50,000 in debt while in the apartment. He saw this strategy. He saw how I did it. He was there. He's able to come with me in conferences and events. And last year around this time, I had 4 different stages that I was going to be on. And I was like, hey, you want to come with me to all these different places? And he's like, nah, ma, that's going to be too much for me. But I let that be his choice. But to use the idea that you're waiting for your child to graduate from college, or you're waiting for your child to graduate from high school, you're waiting for your child to finish football, or you're waiting for we have the idea backwards. It's really backwards, because the first line of success your child should see, I don't care if you're custodial, your child should see you going out there working hard, but also showing that you took the time to learn and invest in yourself. Because what happened when you learn and invest in yourself, the way of life and the way you're thinking, there's so many people that I can talk to in 5 minutes and learn that they have no direction. They have no direction. Their way of thinking is so far off. And that is because of their own experiences, where their own past and their own parents, whether they want to admit it or not, is of their own situation. So we're trying to break that cycle. That's the whole idea. You are here to break that cycle. You are here to serve from a higher level. And when your eyes got open, you can't close. I hear somebody say discernment is a gift and it's also a curse. Because discernment gives you the ability to see what you will not tolerate, or what you will not put up with. But then it's also give you the eyes of see what you accepted. To see what you accepted. When the illusion is off, and the wool is off the eyeballs, and you look up, you're like, oh my God, this is what I accepted. And most of the time people don't see that until they're in the grandparent stage. Yes. So my son, who's in the Marines, he always says he don't introduce me just to anybody. He's big on who he introduced me to. He could date somebody for a while, and then he's like, nope, you have to wait to meet my mom. Why? Because he's checking out to see if that person is the one first. So different people is not being introduced to his mommy. He's very selective. Where do you think he got that from? So it's one of those things again where, if you and I'm not a parent coach for parents, but it just baffled me that we will go out there to the football games and basketball games and soccer games and cheer our child on and have them become the best that they can be. And then we'll sit on the sideline cheering them on. But when that game is over, what do we do? How are we becoming the best? How are we holding our kids at a standard that we're not even holding our own self? Hmm. And the first step to be able to do that is for you to make a decision that you want better. When I learn that I'm going to make a decision that I want better and I don't control what anybody else do. I don't control what my child does. I don't control what my husband does. I don't control what my mom does. That's between them and God. I can only control what I do. I can only control what I do. And when I started creating my own identity of how I see myself, what subconsciously happened is my son started to look at his mom and look at how I do it, and he started automatically, subconsciously adapting the same way for his life. So yes, how do we have a 13-year-old in high school? How do we have a 13-year-old taking algebra? Actually, he was 12 when he started. My job was not just to get him book smart, but not just street smart, but to be a better person for the world, to help the people who need helping, to help the less fortunate, because he was blessed. But by all means, I could only do that by showing him the first person of what success looked like. And then he either match it or outgrow it, praying that he outgrow it. But the belief system and mindset that I install inside of him, now there gonna come a time when he has to choose between on his life on his own, and I have no control of that. But my job right now at the core is to install in his mind great principle to let him know he can be all he can be, and also doing it myself. So this excuse of waiting for my child to be successful before I start working on myself is a bit backwards, because you're the adult, you're the mature one. And your child can only embody at the experience of what you show them. So beyond what you show them, they know nothing else. People are like, oh, I want this house, I want this. When I was building my home, I remember going to someone else's home and getting examples of what I want. I want this. I want this office. I want that. I want this to be like this. I want that. I could have never created that had I not seen it first. And then when my son come, it becomes the baseline for him. And then he built off of my baseline. You're going to get that later. Like he built off my baseline. So what's my goal will become his baseline. And that's the idea I want you to get. Because I have outdone so much more than what my mother has taught me. And that's what each generation supposed to be different. But the reality of thinking that we need to wait to grow, to have personal development, to invest, to learn the skills necessary to put us in a better transformative of our life, to achieve our desire. We need to wait on that, is backwards thinking. And that will keep you stuck, and that will keep you stalling. And when I'm hearing these conversations, I'm like, well, no one ever made you think in a different perspective. Like, and that's why kids sometimes grow up and be like, don't listen to their parents because they want to listen to someone that they see on reality TV, because that's who the closest thing they seen. I remember having different dolls when I was growing up in Jamaica, and I had most Caucasian dolls because it was much dolls that look like me. So my goal was, okay, I can be like that person. I can be like that person. Forget about my color. I can be like that. But when I started seeing dolls that look like me and they look professional and classy, I'm like, oh, I can do it's embedded in me. It made me feel even closer to my goal. So imagine you being a parent who is the first person that a child get to see, and you're barking at them to achieve their goals and you're not even achieving yours. or you're not setting the example of the caliber that they want to be. Now, are you going to hit all the dots? No, because being a parent these days is, whew, even the parents need parenting. So I get it. But if I can say one thing on this side of heaven, is your personal development to become the higher version of yourself. That is non-negotiable. That should be non-negotiable, because there's your kids are watching. Even if you're an adult and you have grandkids, or if you or your kids or grown kids are watching. I remember when I was in high school and I was dating this gentleman, and I didn't date much. So if everybody watching this video, if you know from high school, you already know who I'm talking about. And I admire how his mother, when the gentleman was dating, his mother went back, and I think she was in her 60s, and she went back and got her bachelor degree. And she was like the first Black woman that I knew, like at her age, went back after having her kids and got her degree. And I was just like, wow. And she's my superhero today. And Miss Freeman, if you're watching this, I'm talking about you. But I just wanted to kind of like have that conversation. But that's what it means. Proximity is so important. And you're the first line of proximity to your child. So instead of just also having them watch their goals, what about yours? What about yours? Are you going to stay in the illusion? Like, I'm just going to work on them because my life is already messed up? Or are you going to show them based on proximity what it's supposed to be like? I challenge you today, if you don't take anything else away from what I'm saying, working on you and becoming a higher version of you automatically work on your kids too. Automatically showing them what they should accept and what they should not accept. Even if they act like they're not listening, you at some point in their life, it will all make sense later on. All the things my mom tried to do, all the things my mom tried to say to me, it is now making sense to me right now. And I'm so glad that she was strict, but I thank her for being strict, because the Lord Jesus, what I'm seeing people around here accepting, so you're going to thank your parents for being strict. So it's the same thing with you. I was very sheltered as a child, and because I was designed to do what I'm doing right now. She had my mind right here. Go to college, get good grades. I was very sheltered to the outside world. So when I hear people are doing certain things, it threw me out because I'm not used to that. When I hear the conversation that my husband have about his life and his stories and the things that he had to overcome and to get to where he is, sometimes he feel like he's not even grateful for the things he have. So they self-sabotage it and go to a path of least resistance. But that is until they realize through life coaching, therapy, God, that it doesn't have to be that way. And then having someone that says, hey, you're acting out. Your inner child need to be fixed. You're a great person, and there's greatness within you, but your inner child need to be fixed. And I'm willing to help you if you're willing to help yourself. And when I was able to do that, and when I was able to say that, I watched the transformation that, oh my gosh. But what if somebody else had the opportunity to do that? Like, this is not you. This is not, there's something that within you, their inner child is just screaming. Screaming. And had I not did the work on myself, I wouldn't be able to do it with him. But that's the power of when you start your own healing growth and making a decision become a higher version of you. Everybody else get the same, get the subconsciously get the overflow of your tools. So I want to challenge you today. If you are here saying, I'm going to wait till my child finish school, I'm going to wait till they finish that, I want to get them in the NFL, I want to get them, I'm going to work on them first, I'm going to put myself on the back burner. Baby, no. The best version of a child, the best example you can show a child is you working on your own higher self. Trust me, because now they know what they're aiming for, and don't allow Instagram or TikTok or any those other places to do it for them, because the world will. If you don't teach your child something, the world will teach it for them. So it's time for you to invest in yourself, whether it's investing in marketing, whether it's investing in coaching, whether it's investing in personal development, whatever that looks like for you. But you deserve that, and your kids, your nieces, your nephews, whoever you have, your spouse, they are dependent on your healing so they can heal. Your grandkids, they're dependent on your healing so you can heal. Why am I talking about this as I end out? I'm talking about this because so many times I see people thinking that this strategy is why their revenue is not there, and it's the internal that needs some fixing first. The internal needed fixing first. And once the internal is fixed around you, you will see that same healing taking place around you. So you cannot wait. You cannot wait to get your personal development, your things in order. Your child, your grandchild is dependent on it. That's all I got for today. It's your girl, Sherry Somerville. Make sure you hit the bell and subscribe so you can know anytime I come on here. Be blessed.